So I was really excited to meet him. And so when I went up to his booth, I was like shaking because I was so nervous. She was like, "This is my friend that made that design." And he was like, "Oh, you're that person." And so he grabbed my hand and gave me like the longest handshake ever. It is not an exaggeration when people are like, she takes the time and she makes you feel like
The
you're
dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Sith Talk. Today we have back on the show Tiara from the Crafting on Ilum YouTube channel. How you doing, Tiara?
I'm good. Thanks for having me again.
Of course. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel and where we can find you at?
Yeah, so crafting on Ilum across all social medias. I've been really active on YouTube recently. So YouTube was on TikTok, but that's going away probably. And Threads and Instagram is my main hub. So that's where I post all updates, all photos, etc.
Nice. So for you guys watching, go follow her. I'm going to put the link to her Instagram, YouTube down in the description. And she has a merch store. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your merch
Oh,
store?
yes. You asked about what my page is about. Duh. I forget because we're friends, so I'm like, you know all about me. So yes, my page is about cosplay. I've been doing a lot of vlogs. I do updates on how to make the cosplays that I've been doing recently. Um, I collect, as you can see in the background. It's grown significantly in the past year. So a lot of collecting stuff too, like hauls. And I do have a merch store. So my name is Crafting on Ilum. I love to make things, and so I do hand drawings that I make into Star Wars inspired merch. So that is on my Instagram page, and there is a Linktree link that has all of my links to all of my social medias. So.
Your background now is so full. If we look at the first Sith Talk that you came on like mad long ago, because this is like your third or fourth time. Your
Yeah,
first one, I think it was like one tower in the back with
it
stuff.
was like one of those white shelves, like
Yeah.
maybe two. Yeah, yeah.
Oh man, that's awesome. So we got a few things we're gonna talk about today, but we could talk about first how we both ended last year at GalaxyCon in Columbus, Ohio, in freezing Columbus. It was so cold there. Oh my god. But how did you enjoy it? Because that was your first time there too, right?
Yeah, yeah. So I just moved to Ohio a couple months ago. It's going to be in the negatives, just
Oh my
FYI.
god.
Yeah, this weekend it's supposed to be like -3 degrees or something, and I don't know what I'm going to do. I literally typed in how to dress for -degree weather
Yeah.
because I don't know what to do.
Wow, that's crazy. So what were your first thoughts of GalaxyCon the first day you went?
Yes. So, I thought it was like a pretty big space, and it's not as big as MegaCon, but it is pretty big because, like, me and Jessica, Tales of the Force, we went together and we walked from like the other side of the building all the way to like the registration badge pickup site, and that was such a long walk. So it was a pretty big like venue.
Yeah.
And super busy on Saturday because that was the first day that I went. So super busy on Saturday.
Yeah, I was really surprised because like I never been, so I didn't know what to expect. And
Mhm.
it did feel like MegaCon. It felt like kind of big. The crowd, like I got there Friday, and even Friday was packed. And then Saturday was packed too. So I definitely was surprised how big of a con that was. But it did have a lot of like really cool, talented people there. So how many who all did you meet when you went there? You met a few people, right?
Like, just celebrities or
Yeah,
like
yeah.
yeah, so, I mean, I consider not him a celebrity, but like a well-known person, the author, John Miller Jackson, I think. I don't know if I got the names mixed up, but yes, for Living Force, he does Batman, and he did some, like, Old Republic graphic novels, I think.
Yeah.
So I met him because he had a booth there, and then I met Hayden, the Chosen One, and then I met Sam Witwer, Maul, and he does so many other iconic voices, but those were the 3, like, big ones that I met.
Nice. So what was it like meeting we'll first talk about John Jackson Miller, the author, because I saw him there, but I didn't get to talk to him. So how
Mm.
was that?
It was really, really fun. Like he's so excited about his work. So like when you get him talking, he gets talking. And I'm sure that's with all authors because I remember ICCC, Timothy Zahn was just like talking to everyone and he
Yes.
gets so excited talking about his works. And so it was the same for Miller. And so when I was talking to him, I was talking to him specifically about the Living Force because I've read like more excerpts from that than his other books.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just telling me like certain places that he took inspiration for his book. And I told him that my favorite part in the book is when Qui-Gon is sitting in front of all 9 or 12 members of the council. And he's like, we should be out there. Like, we shouldn't be stuck on Coruscant. Like, we are a part of the living force. So we need to be not a part of like the bureaucratic society and out in the galaxy being Jedi. And he told me that the inspiration for that scene in the novel comes from Attack of the Clones when Obi-Wan is telling, I forget his name, like Sleazebag something. Do you remember his name? The Destix guy? And he's like, you don't want to sell me
Oh,
Destix.
yeah. I
Something
don't know his name.
Sleazebag.
Yeah, I don't know his
Yeah.
name, but I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's like, you know, you don't want to sell me death sticks. You want to go home and rethink your life. And he said that he's like that was like the epitome of the Jedi. Like they're supposed to be like people of principle and like inspiring people to lead like a good life and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. So he was just telling me like little bits and pieces about that and it was so interesting to like go back and read those parts because I now know like, what he drew inspiration from.
Nice. Yeah, that's so cool. Like, that's such a slept on thing is talking to these authors at cons. Cause like when we talked to Timothy Zahn at ICCC, he literally was just like us. He just lit up.
Yeah.
And you were there when he was saying all his theories that he had about the sequels, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like a little kid. He's like, "You wanna hear this? You
Yes.
wanna hear that?" And seeing
Yeah.
that in his eye, I love it. So,
Mhm.
I think there's, Charles Soule is another author. He's gonna be at MegaCon. I kinda wanna find his table just to kinda talk to him
Yes.
because
Yeah.
they deserve more love for sure, the authors.
Yeah, like, pick their brains about it, cause like, that's what they're most passionate about, and, like, you know, there's no, like for me at least, there's no level of, like, intimidation, because 'cause I'm just like, it's an author, and
Yeah.
not like a celebrity figure, and so, like, I feel more at ease asking them questions, and also
Mhm.
it's a regular booth, you know, so it's not, like, super rushed like any photo ops or, like,
Yeah.
autographs and stuff like that.
Yeah. So after that, I know you mentioned Sam Witwer. So was his line long waiting for Maul?
Yeah, so, both I think both the days I went, his line was, like, going past, like, where the tape is, and so
Yeah.
I think he was busy, like, all throughout the days, like, I think he barely had time to go and, like, take the lunch breaks or restroom breaks or whatever, but yeah, it was a fairly long line on Sunday because that's when
Mhm.
I met him, um, but yeah, I mean, I felt like the time passed pretty quickly because I was nervous
Yeah?
to meet him, so yeah, I don't remember that portion of it, like, waiting in line, I just remember being really sweaty.
Oh, so you had him sign something, right?
Yes, so that Clone Wars encyclopedia book that I got at
Mhm.
ICCC for $5, I had him sign the Maul page, and so when he was looking at it, because like he's also a really big collector and also like loves to get more knowledge, and he just like loves little knickknacks like that, and
Yeah.
so he was signing it, and he was like, "This is so cool." He was like, "Do you know what year this is?" And like my brain was just mush, so I didn't remember like there's a copyright date at the back of the book with the year. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I don't know, but I know that like they updated it pretty recently because it has like all of the most newest quick characters in it." And he was like, "Oh, that's really cool." Signed his name, put Maul underneath. But yeah, that's the item that I had him sign. He liked it.
Nice. What was it like talking to him when you first walked up and he, like, locked eyes with you?
Yeah, so I mean, I've had the biggest crush on Sam since I was younger.
Nice.
Um, yeah, and also I just enjoy watching him like on interviews and stuff because he's so knowledgeable. Like I love the way that he articulates himself about not just Star Wars fandom, but like all fandoms and like cinema.
Mhm.
Um, so I was really excited to meet him, and so when I went up to his booth, I was like shaking because I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And I had my Maul sweater on, and then I had my pants on that I like painted that has like Maul and like his chest print or pattern. So when I walked up, he's like, I like your sweater. And then
Mm.
Jessica was with me, Tales of the Force, and she was like, and she drew her pants. And so he like looked over the table to look at my pants, and he's like, oh, that's cool. And then he signed my book. And then we took our photo, and I was like, I know he felt me shaking. And I was so embarrassed because
Aw.
I was just like, oh my God, he has his hands around me.
Yeah.
I could feel his body warmth, like not being creepy, but like in my head.
Yeah.
And then we went back to the table, and I had brought him my Maul Oh What Fun sticker, the one that you have, the
Ooh,
holiday one
yes,
with the
yes.
Santa hat on. Yeah, I brought him that and an acolyte, just like the helmet sticker that I made because I know he
Yeah.
was like a voice in it, and so brought him those stickers. And Jessica again, because like I had trouble getting any words out, so I was like, here, like just like handing him shit.
What did he
Um,
say when he saw the stickers?
Yeah, he was just looking at them, and then Jessica was like, "Oh, she drew those," and I was like, "Oh yeah, like it's from my shop." And he was like, "Oh, no way!" And so he set them because he had a pile of like stuff that people were giving him, so he
Yeah.
put that in that pile. And then Jessica had a selfie, so I took the selfie for them. And
Mhm.
then when we went back to the booth, because I had like questions that I wanted to ask him, but he had such a long line, and he seemed really tired. Like he was still really pleasant, but he
Yeah.
just seemed exhausted, so I didn't want to like push his time. And so when we went back to the booth, just like gather our things, I was like, I just want to say real quick, it's an honor to meet the world's best armpit farter. And he was like, you must be talking about like either one of you. And both me and Jessica in unison were like, no, you. And he was like,
Yeah.
me. And he's like, I probably need to practice more. And I was like, you said it in one of your interviews. He's like, I probably did, but probably just need to practice more. Um, so I don't know if that weirded him out or anything, but I just needed to get something out that I had pre-planned on
Yeah.
telling him. And then as we were leaving his booth, I don't know what overcame me, and I literally stuck my hand out and I was like, "Stay hydrated," as we were leaving. And Jessica was like, "Thank you so much for your time. Like, I know you're probably tired. Thank you. Bye."
Oh, I wish I would have been walking by, and I wish I would have saw you putting your hand up, telling Star Killer to stay hydrated, just to see his facial reaction. Like, how did he react when you said that?
Yeah, I was not looking at him because
Oh,
again, I don't know what overcame me. I was just like, stay hydrated, but like in his general direction. And
yeah.
Jessica told me that he had like the biggest smile on his face, like as if he
Aw.
like wanted to laugh. And I was like, well, it probably made some type of impression on him. So at least we have that.
You need to meet him again and be like, "Hi, I was the one that told you to stay hydrated at GalaxyCon. Remember me?"
I just want to know if he'll remember, and he'd be like, you told me to like drink water or something.
Wow, that's so cool. I've met Sam twice?
Hmm.
Or no, once. I got an autograph at Ocala Comic Con, and like that guy is like Zon. If you ask the right question, he just goes crazy. So I think I was with Nilda actually, and we were at
Nice.
Ocala,
Yeah.
and I asked him, I said, "Hey," I was like, "You should tell your pal Filoni he should do a Tales of the Sith." And he was like, "Man, that would be great. I would," because I think I said I want to see a young Palpatine training Maul, and then he just
Yeah,
went off like, "Oh, there's a story there with Maul training with Palpatine training Maul and Mother
for sure.
Talzin and this and that." Like he just went off with a bunch of things, and it was
Yeah.
just so cool just to hear that. And then we were at the panel there, and people got to ask him questions,
Nice.
and
Yeah.
I didn't record the one part, but this one guy asked him, "Would you want to play Star Killer in live action?" And all he said was, "I would shave my head today." Like meaning I'm ready to
Right.
do it.
Right.
And like just to hear that was just so cool. Like
Yeah.
he's just so awesome. I think I'm gonna meet him again in Japan because he got announced for Celebration. Because I got a really, really cool Darth Maul card that I want to have him sign.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard some stuff about him. I can't really say it now. Maybe when we're done recording, remind me to tell you what I heard. But
Okay.
it's crazy. It's crazy. Oh my god. So That's awesome. Now, the last guy you met over there, he's pretty popular, I guess. But
Yeah.
when you did the photo with Hayden, right? You
Yeah,
and
just a
Jess.
photo. Yeah,
So
me and Jessica. Hmm.
first, how long did you guys wait? Was your wait like insane?
No, because like we had lined up pretty early enough, like because there's the groups and stuff, and so we started heading over there a little bit before. So it wasn't too long. Like, I mean, we waited in line for a good minute, but it wasn't too long. I don't remember being like exhausted. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, me and her had a dual photo op, and yeah, we did a photo together. But yeah, the line wasn't that bad.
That's good. Now, when you guys were walking up and after they scan your QR code and like you know how you're putting your stuff down and then you see him, what was your first thought seeing Anakin Skywalker in real life?
Honestly, I was just like, he just looks like an uncle. He just looks like someone's uncle because he was in a flannel and he had like some scruff going, and I've never seen him have like scruff like that. So I was like, yeah, he just looks like someone's uncle or whatever walking around. And he recognized Jessica because Jessica's met him a couple of times, like doing autographs and photos, and
Yeah.
so she went up first, so that way he could like recognize her, and then she was like, "Oh, this is my friend," because she took one of my designs to Chicago because
Yeah,
she asked a
yeah.
question at MegaCon about like what he does for his mental health to relax or whatever however she formed that question, and his response was, "I like
The
to snowblow."
pause. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Snowblow, yeah, he
Yep.
likes to go on his snowblower, his Bobcat snowblower, and just like shoot out snow everywhere. So that was his response, and so she asked me to do a design about that. So I literally made a little chibi like anime Anakin and put him in like a Bobcat snowblower,
Oh my
and then
god.
I put like a keychain, like how people have things hanging from their like rear view mirror or whatever. And
Yeah.
I put the Japor snippet that he makes Padme, and I put that on a sweater, and she took it to him. And then, so when she went up, she was like, "This is my friend that made that design." And he was like, "Oh, you're that person." And so he grabbed my hand and gave me like the longest handshake ever,
Ooh.
and did not break eye contact. He was like, "It's so nice to meet you." And I was like, I didn't say anything. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's so nice to meet you.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's so cool, but, like, he does something with that handshake and that eye contact, like, you
yeah,
you feel, like, connected to him for those, like, 10, 15 seconds.
yeah, yeah. So it was really nice meeting him, and for Jessica to be like, "Oh, she's the one who made that
Yeah,
design," and like. Again, I'm like hesitant to meet celebrities because feel like it's kind of fake sometimes, and so
yeah,
I'm really particular with who I meet, and like the way that he said like, "Oh, you made that sweater," like I could tell that he remembered like receiving that sweater, and Jessica had like some footage of him receiving the sweater, and he was like, "Oh, no way!" Because he was like looking at all the details that I put in, and he
yeah,
actually told Jessica, he was like, "Have you been to my farm? Like, have you been to my ranch before? Because this looks like my home." She was like, "No, like this is just like some random drawing."
yeah, yeah. Wow, that's crazy. That's the one thing, though, I could say about Hayden, like how you said you're hesitant to meet, celebs because it feels fake, and I'm sure it can be with certain ones, but Hayden
Yeah,
is so genuine and he remembers his fans. Like the first
yeah,
time he remembered me in Chicago, I almost had a heart attack. I'm like, "Yes, we've met before." I was just shocked.
yeah,
Like it just blew
yeah.
my mind. And since then, I saw him again at Tampa Bay Comic Con the next week, and then again at GalaxyCon. And just every time he sees me, he just lights up as if he hasn't seen a friend in so long. And
Right.
it's the weirdest thing because I'm like, bro, we shouldn't be this cool, but like that, it blows my mind. And that's why like I keep going to see him and do these autos and photos because it's
Hmm.
just crazy that seeing someone that I grew up watching
Yeah,
recognizing me and knowing me as an actual person and not just like a paycheck money sign going through the
exactly.
line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yep. I agree. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, Hayden, the dude's awesome. That's so cool. Oh man, I wish he would do social media because like how crazy would it be if you posted a picture of him in a snowblower, like wearing your
Yeah,
thing? Like how
yeah.
insane would that be?
I would pass out. I'd be like, "Oh my god, like my art is out there on this man's body." Like,
Yeah, that's so cool. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, GalaxyCon, it was cool. It was fun. Um, I don't know if I'd go again. Maybe
Mm,
it depends on who they have. Because for me,
yeah.
it's not a simple trip. Like it was flying, hotel, all that stuff.
Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it was just so cold, man. And I got a hotel that was 2 blocks from the convention center just so I could walk. Oh, that walk sucked. That 2, 3 blocks in that 20 degrees, not fun. Not fun at all.
I was in my Trilla cosplay on Saturday and like the wind and like Trilla the cosplays aren't like they don't have much of a barrier, so I was
Yeah,
freezing. Yeah.
man. So, most recently, well, last weekend, you went to
Mhm.
Fan Expo in New Orleans with Nilda.
Yes.
So, how was that?
It was super fun. We had like the best weekend because I got there on Thursday night, and so like in addition to the con, I've never been to New Orleans, and I've like wanted to explore like Bourbon Street and French
Mm,
Quarter because there's a lot of movies that aren't like take place in like similar areas that are inspired by New Orleans or it's been filmed there. I don't know specifics, but that was another portion of just like this great weekend because we got to explore and eat some really great food. Um, so that part was really fun, and the
nice.
convention was super fun because like it was a more focused con on like Back to the Future. I think it was like their anniversary or
Yeah.
something. So the Star Wars celebrities that were there, their lines were like shorter than normal.
What?
So yeah, yeah, like they weren't like, wrapping around places. Like it was just like a handful of people in line for Andy Serkis, Carlo
What?
Esposito, yeah, Eckstein, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't that
That
long. Yeah.
that blows my mind. I've never seen Ashley's line short. Every con I've ever seen her at, it's insane.
Mhm.
3PO's line is always long. Andy
Mhm.
Serkis was at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. His line was insane. It was so long my brother couldn't even wait in it to get an autograph. It was crazy.
Well,
So the fact that it was like that is so awesome because I know my boy Josiah went too,
mhm.
and he met like all the Star Wars people there. But that's really, really cool. So was the con because I've never been to Fan Expo New Orleans. I've never been to New
Mm,
Orleans either. But was the
mhm.
convention like was it a big convention center? Was it packed or was it was just kind of empty overall?
No, I mean, it was busy, but like this place is huge. So, just to give like an idea, there is construction going on in like one section of the building. There was
Hmm.
a cheerleader competition going on another section. There was a volleyball tournament on another section, and then there was the actual convention. So, like,
Yeah.
three different events plus construction. And then after the convention, one night me and Nilda were walking out, and there was like some event, like a wedding or whatever it was, but it was popping. So like it is a very big building. Yeah.
Oh wow. So who all did you meet over there in New Orleans?
Yeah, so I mean, I got to take little snaps of certain people because it was super like less busy than any other
Yeah.
con that I've been to too. So I went with Nilda to go do some of her autographs. So we went to Anthony Daniels on Saturday. And he was just walking around on Friday. So he wasn't supposed to be there on Friday.
Hmm.
And me and her went just to like get a feel of the floor. And he was just there, like out and about walking through like all the other celebrities' booths, and no one like was recognizing him. So like he didn't
What?
have a crowd or yeah, no one was walking up to him. And so he came back and he took a photo with Ashley. And so he was by his booth and he was just like talking to people in line. And like, because his line wasn't that long because he wasn't supposed to be there on Friday. And so
Yeah.
me and Nilda were talking to the security guard and she was going to get her plaque signed for Flex and I think it was Nerd Squadron and then
Yeah.
herself. And the security guard was like, yeah, the weather was just so bad because it was really rainy. And
Hmm.
so he was like, the weather was just really bad. So Anthony Daniels just like popped up. And so he's here, taking autographs, photos, all that stuff. Um, so he didn't have a line on Friday because he wasn't announced. And so he was
Yeah.
just talking to people in line. And I've got like little clips of footage of him, and Nilda has
Yeah.
clips of footage. So that was Friday. And then Saturday, we actually went in line for Nilda to get her autographs. And I was in my Endor Leia cosplay. And he walked in
Ooh.
and he was like, you look great. He's like, look at you. And I was like, oh my God, thank
Oh,
you.
wow. What was it like talking to him, like, when Nilda was getting the autographs?
Well, I didn't talk with him while he was signing, but when he walked in, I just did like a quick convo with
Mm,
him because I was a
nice.
little intimidated, but like he walked in and so he was like, you look fantastic, you look great. And I was like, my hair took like it was a huge challenge this morning with like all the braids and stuff. And he was like, I bet. He was like, not me. He's like, you see this head of hair? It's just a wash and go. And I was like, I'm sure. And then he got to signing and that was it. But I mean, my interaction was great. Nilda didn't really chat with him too much. She was just like, thank you. And that was
Yeah.
pretty much it. But yeah, I mean, it was pleasant for me.
That's awesome. I haven't met him yet. I really need to because the dude is old and he's still
Yeah.
doing all these shows. But that's
Yeah.
so cool that C3PO was so nice to you. Like that
Yeah.
man literally is in every movie. He's in all 9 movies. Like he popped up in Ahsoka. Like he's a freaking legend. He popped up in Rogue One.
Hmm.
Yeah, this man is everywhere. So that's really, really cool. Who
Yeah.
who'd you guys go to after Anthony Daniels?
So that was Saturday. And then on Saturday as well, Nilda had autographs for Manny, for Chimere. And so, yeah, we went up because okay, so I felt bad for this guy because when we were standing in line for Anthony Daniels, like no one was in his line and like people started showing
What?
up later. Yeah, but that's what I'm
Oh,
telling you. These lines are like super short, but like he
okay.
didn't have anyone in his line. And I was like, I felt really bad. Like no one's there. But me and Nilda went up, and because he had no one in his line, it was just us. And so he was, signing the autograph, and he looked at I forget what they're called, the plates or whatever
The
that Nilda
plaques?
gets from her friend. Yeah, the
Yeah.
plaques. And he was looking at it, and he was like, "This is really cool. Like, did you make this, or like, where did you get it?" And so Nilda was like, "Oh, my buddy makes them," and he was like, "This is super cool." And so since it was just us, and like it was just super slow, I pulled up my phone and I was like, "Hey, like." I drew this design for the acolyte. I just wanted to show you some love for that show because it didn't get enough love. And he
Yeah.
was like, wow, like he's like, look at that. He's like, that's amazing. And he was literally flipping through my shop and looking at my acolyte designs and like zooming in to see the detail. And he was like, this is amazing. And I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God, this most beautiful man is like complimenting my art. He was so nice. And like I said, I'm hesitant to meet celebrities, but like his tone of voice, like it felt really genuine to me. So like
Yeah.
I believe the compliment that he gave.
That is awesome. Yeah, I saw that clip. I don't know if you posted it or Nilda, and he's just,
Mhm.
like, zooming in, and I'm like, "Oh my god, that's crazy."
Yeah.
I kinda wanna meet him, man, because he was, like, my favorite slash the best
Yeah.
part of Acolyte, and, like,
Yeah.
that episode 5 fight still
Yes.
is insane, and I just wanna talk to him about that, and, like,
Yeah.
I think he's coming to MegaCon, so I'm thinking about bringing the helmet that Rex
Yeah.
made for me and having him
Yes.
sign it and letting him know that, "Bro, like, we watched the episode 5 when it dropped. My boy made this, and I had this by episode 6, and I like that quick. So yeah, I want to have a convo with him. Just show him
You should
some
wear the
love.
t-shirt you got from my shop and bring that helmet.
Yes, yes. Oh no, for sure. I bet. Yeah, you met her in New Orleans. This is her
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So yeah, we'll see. But I feel like in Orlando, I feel like his line is gonna be crazy. We'll see,
Yeah.
we'll see. I'm gonna have it with me just in case. I'm gonna bring the helmet, the t-shirt just in case, and I'm gonna try to pop up over there. But that's so cool. Now, who was after Manny?
So the day before, I saved the best for last, of course, because it was
Woo!
my longest interaction. I met Ashley Eckstein or Eckstein, and her line, like I'm aware of all the footage from cons and stuff that her lines are really long because she takes the time too with like every individual. And so
Yeah.
I've heard nothing but great things, but again, I'm just like, I don't know. And I wasn't planning on meeting her. She was the only one that like I like went up and was like, "Oh, I want to do this." But I
Mhm.
wasn't planning on meeting her, but her line was so short and I was in my Ahsoka bound and I was like, "You know what? Let's just do it."
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I went with Nilda and she was so sweet. Like it is not an exaggeration when people are like, she takes the time and she makes you feel like you're the only person in the world because she gives you all her attention. And she's met Nilda a couple of times because Nilda
Yeah.
has her autograph like tattooed on her
Tattooed.
leg.
Yep.
Yeah. So she was like, Nilda, like, is that you? And then she looked at me and she's like, we haven't met before. And like that right there is already like, oh, like you remember all the people that you meet, like you keep
Yeah.
count and you have that memory. And so she's like, we haven't met before. And I was like, no. And so I told her my name and she was like, I love your name. And then she was like, look at you. You look fantastic. And I gave her an Ahsoka bracelet. She put that on immediately. I gave her a keychain from my shop, the like running on low battery, and just showed her like my not so Roger Roger hat because she talks about mental health a lot. And I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, like I try and make certain designs that kind of touch on mental health. And so she was like, that's fantastic. And she's like, things are not Roger Roger right now. Like, you know, the fires in California. So we just kind of chatted about that for a little bit. And then I took a selfie with her. And before I took my selfie, she was like, let me get a good look at you." So she was just like looking me up and down because I had my jumpsuit on,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Yeah, this is from the Tales of the Jedi." And she was like, "I know." She was like, "I know," and I was like, "Oh, okay." So I started going through like everything that I had on my jumpsuit because she was like, "Where did you get the jumpsuit?" And I was like, "Oh, like I got it online, but like I hemmed it and I added these pieces." And she was like, "It looks fantastic." But yeah, and then she gave me a hug, and I was like, "Oh my god, you're so sweet."
Oh, you
Yeah.
did you take a couple photos with her?
Yeah, and that's another thing too, is that she like I was just gonna take like, you know, like hands over shoulder type
Yeah.
photo, but she was like, no, like let's get a couple. So like she started doing the pose, like the Ahsoka pose, and
Yeah,
she was like,
yeah.
let's go. And then, you know, she's like, let's do like the arms crossed back to back. And so I
Yeah.
got a handful of photos because she was the
Oh,
one initiating it. She was like, let's do this, let's do that. And I was like, well, yeah, okay, let's do it.
that is so cool. I am dying to meet her, but every con, it's crazy. Um, and I just hear that she's so sweet, so genuine. I need to knock that out and get her soon because I just want to
Yeah.
just talk to her. It's freaking Ahsoka. Like I love
Yeah.
Ahsoka. And I'm dying to ask her what her favorite version of Ahsoka was. Was it Clone Wars? Was
Yes.
it Rebels? Was it Tales of the Jedi? Because like my favorite Ahsoka is Rebels. Rebels
Mhm.
Ahsoka is badass. I love her. Killing Inquisitors, fighting Vader. I love that version of
Yeah.
Ahsoka. So I want to
Yeah.
see what was her favorite. Maybe like her favorite as Ahsoka the character and her favorite to do as voicing
Mm.
it. Something like that, maybe. I don't know, but yeah, maybe a MegaCon. We'll see. We'll see.
I literally told Nilda that because again, every time I meet people, my brain is just complete mush. Nothing is
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through.
yeah,
I
yeah.
told Nilda that right before, like one person before it was my turn. I was like, I don't know what to ask her.
Uh-huh.
Nilda has this on footage, and I was like, my heartbeats are sweaty. I don't know what to ask her. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, let me ask her like what her favorite version of Ahsoka is.
Yeah.
I didn't ask her, but like, yeah, that's a great question because I wanted to ask her that, but
Yeah, because like,
yeah.
she'll go deep and break it down, like, which one,
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
So, I can't wait to meet her. I almost met her at London
Mhm.
Celebration. 'Cause I regret it to this day that I didn't do it, but I was gonna do the dual photo op with, Rosario and Ashley. It was the
Ooh.
first time they ever offered it, but I already bought a bunch of photo ops, so I was like, "I'll just buy it there as an impulse buy, like a premeditated impulse buy,"
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
it sold out, and I was like,
Ooh.
"No." So, I think they've done it before since then, but it's kinda rare that they're both at cons. But I'm gonna do an autograph with her eventually because I just need to talk to her, man. It's Ahsoka.
Yeah. Yeah, long overdue, especially for you with the amount of cons that you do. Way overdue.
I know, I know, I know. We'll see where she pops up. I kind of wish I would have went to New Orleans, but it was just too soon in the year.
Mhm.
Um, I thought about it too, but another reason though I didn't is because I love Back to the Future, so that
Mhm.
would have killed me because I would have went through all the Back to the Future cast because they had like the main cast, but they
Mhm.
had random side people. Like they had the guy that was the mayor, they had the principal, the guy that was the manager in the freaking diner. Like I would have met all those people and had so much fun, but it would have added up like real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
So you guys also hosted a panel there. How was that experience hosting a panel at a convention?
Yeah, I mean, all the kudos to Nilda. That was all her. She got invited and just brought me
Yeah.
along for the ride. So super proud of her for that, for getting that invite. But yeah, she invited me, and so before going to the con, we had like, video chatted and be like what's gonna be our topic, and like how do we want to structure it. And so we thought Women of the Galaxy, because we had been talking about like, I think, our favorite characters or something like that,
Mhm.
maybe a week before. So then I did the PowerPoint. That PowerPoint is all me. I'm very proud of it. It is my baby. And so that part got me really excited because like I like to make things, and so the
Yeah.
PowerPoint was really fun for me. So I was excited just to like present it, just for it to be on the screen. Um we had our PowerPoint on Saturday, and so Friday we went before just to check out like the lay of the room, and so that was really cool.
Yeah.
Her like podcast name was like on the schedule and is like 6
Ooh.
p.m. So like that was really cool to see. But yeah, like I was nervous. We were both really nervous, but it was really fun. The people that were there, they were really kind and like really engaged with us. Like we were talking with Jose last night, and
Mhm.
Nilda was saying like the people that were there, they were like leaning forward in their seats because like they were engaged and they liked our topic. Yeah,
Nice.
so that was like really rewarding to see like that type of engagement from people, and like they were
Yeah.
really nice too. Um yeah, it was a lot of fun. They asked really good questions, and yeah, showing the PowerPoint was really fun too.
That's so cool. That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. I'm glad that that she was, they invited her to do that. She deserves it. And then how
Yeah.
she brought you along to help
Yeah.
co-host. That's awesome. That's super fun.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm super grateful for her. Yeah, it was like it's not something that I thought I was going to experience anytime soon, so it was really awesome to go to.
Nice. So anything else crazy happened there, or that's pretty much everything with the guests and the panel? Was there anything else there fun to like noteworthy?
I mean, pretty much to my memory, that was pretty much it. I mean, we saw some strange people, in
What do you
downtown New
mean? Oh,
Orleans.
oh God.
But at the convention, no, I mean like I had mentioned is pretty much focused on Back to the Future, so like that portion of the con was really packed. Um, but let me think. 501st booth was there. That was pretty cool. They had some cool stuff. They
Nice.
had K2SO. Chewies came up to me because I saw me in Endor Leia, so we took
Oh,
photos.
I seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was really fun. One of them put like their paw on my head, and I was just like, um,
Oh
yeah,
man.
that's pretty much it. Those are the three people that I met. We saw Nilda had like yelled across to, I can't say his full name, Moff Gideon. She was like,
Giancarlo Esposito.
yes, okay, I call him Esposito and that's it. Like that's where I can leave it. But Nilda was like, "You're the greatest like TV villain ever," and he was like, thank
Yes.
you." Yeah,
Yes, Gustavo Fring in Breaking Bad. He's the
yes, that's what she
ultimate
was referring to. Hmm.
ultimate villain. He is a savage. I met him once for a photo at Anaheim, but I want to do an autograph because I just want to talk to him about Breaking Bad because he was
Hmm.
probably the one of the best, if not the best, television villains ever in history. Confirmed.
I can attest. I've only watched like a few episodes of it, so yeah,
You should like get through it.
binge watch.
It's so the show is just good. I remember everyone kept talking about it. I'm like, what is this stupid show? So I
Hmm.
watched the first 3 episodes and I'm like, I don't like this. And then I stopped. And then maybe like a year later, I was like, I guess I'll finish it. And then I
Hmm.
continued and it got good really quick. And then I was hooked. And
What season is he in? Esposito?
I think he pops up. I don't know when he pops up. He probably pops up in the first season, if I
Okay.
remember. I know in Better Call Saul, the
Hmm.
prequel show, he pops up in the second or third season, and it's crazy. But in Breaking Bad, I'm pretty sure he's there from the beginning, the whole way through, and he is terrifying. Oh my god. Oh yeah, he's really good, really really good.
Okay. Yeah.
So what's the next con for you? You just did Galaxy, you just did Fan Expo New Orleans. Do you have anything planned like for sure or like maybes?
So San Diego Comic-Con was a maybe, but it's just not looking very promising at the moment. Because I was trying to
Yeah,
get tickets when they went on sale, but only like Thursday and Sunday were available, or maybe just
sold out
Thursday.
quick.
Yeah, so I was just like, I don't know. And I don't know if I want to like apply for press. I know Nilda did, and I still haven't.
You should. I just applied for press maybe 2 weeks ago. Like I said,
Hmm.
hey, I'm just gonna just try it because like you, I looked for tickets and they were gone. I still
Hmm.
have that hotel booked now. I
Yeah,
I think the only way I would go is if I got pressed to get in for free.
yeah,
Then it would make the trip worth it for the experience. But if I don't
yeah,
get that, no, I'm not. I'm not going.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That's still up in the air for me. Just like it doesn't feel likely for me. So I don't know. First next con after this one will probably be ICCC, like unless like I hear back because I also applied for press, so we'll see.
Yeah,
Um, so that's probably the next one, and then after that for sure, Rebel Scum Con definitely will be at that.
let's
Yes,
go.
in August. It's going to be great. Both those cons, ICCC and Rebel Scum, have announced some really, really great guests that are going to be
Yo,
there.
I
Yeah.
like for ICCC specifically, I never knew that I wanted to meet Watto until I saw that. I'm like, he's a person. Like, I'm gonna get to
Yeah.
talk to him. So
Yeah.
both Watto and Sebulba, super random. But like the thing is, when because ICCC, it's so intimate, and you get to talk to these guys for a
Yeah.
while over and over. I just want to
Exactly.
ask nothing but questions. What was it like working with George on set for Phantom Menace? Like, give me stories. Just talk to me,
Mm-hmm.
please. And I'm pumped. And then Rebel Scum Con has the dude that's the Wampa from Empire. That's freaking random and awesome. And Jabba the Hutt's puppeteer. So, like, that's kind of the same thing. Both dudes. What was it like working with George? Tell me stories. I'm here for you. Like, come on. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, last year all of the panels were fantastic. Like I have them in my vlogs and stuff, but you gain so much knowledge, especially about the original trilogy. Like I love hearing those stories about the first three movies that came out because they're older and they've got a ton of stories. So those are going to be
Yeah.
really great to hear. Yeah, so Rebel Scum Con for sure, and then I'm going to Legends Expo in California in September.
What's that?
Um, that is focused on the expanded universe and legends. Like that's their theme. That's their focus. So they just announced. I
Like
forget his name.
Star Wars Legends?
Yes, Star Wars. So yeah,
What?
yeah,
Is this a
yeah.
new thing? I've never heard of it.
Last year, I believe, was the first year that it was put on. Yeah.
And like, who was there?
I don't remember last year, but Galactic Factotum, my friend Robbie, Isabella Amadala,
Mm,
so Robbie did photography for like promotion for it, and
uh-huh.
then Isabella, she would have a lot more knowledge. But I mean, if you go on their page, it's just legends.expo, like on Instagram, so you can look
Yeah.
and see what they've got. Because I believe this is the very first announcement of who's going to be there. They just made a post today, I believe. Balance of the Forces went last year too, as well.
Oh,
But it was the first
nice.
one. Yeah, it was the first one last year, so this will be the second one.
Wow, and that's in September? Oh,
Yeah.
Legends.expo?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. A fan-run convention celebrating the expanded universe?
Mm-hmm.
If they get, like, authors and stuff, because like, I love the
Mm-hmm.
Plagueis novel. If, like,
Yeah.
James Luceno is there, oh, I'm going.
Yeah, I would look at whoever they had last year because I know they had a lot of authors. So definitely, you know,
Yo.
scroll and see. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it because this will be low key, but this will be, like, super, like, juicy, good, like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Zahn has to be pull up to this.
I think he was there last year. If I might be wrong, but I think he was there. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you for adding another con to my list. And California, that flight and hotel, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look into it though, see
It's
who they
gonna
get.
be so where the convention is, it's gonna be in the hotel, just like Rebel Scum and ICCC. So you can get a room there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Matthew Stover was there. He wrote the Revenge of the Sith novel last
The
year.
novelization. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god. That dude is a legend. Wow. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, so Legends Expo, and anything else after that?
So I wanted to go to LA Comic Con, but it's the same month. It's the very last week. Like Legends, I believe, is the
Oh,
first week of the month. I would not have the finances to be able to do that.
yeah, that's tough.
Um, so yeah, those three. So ICCC, probably San Diego Comic Con. I don't know anymore. And then Rebel Scum Con and Legends Expo for sure. I'll be there.
Nice, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
ICCC, so much fun. I know last year was your first time and you had fun,
hmm
right?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's just like with the amount of cons that I'm going to be traveling this year, like it's only good financially if I'm able to get press for some of them, you know? So we'll see if I'm able to go again this
Yeah.
year because it is a lot of traveling for all three of those cons. They're all out of state.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like I loved it. I very much enjoyed it. It's just I have to prioritize, and like Rebel Scum Con was like my first press con last year, and so I really want to go back.
Mm,
So that's for sure. And then Legends Expo, I really wanted to go in general. So those two are for sure, which is why I'm like, we'll see how it works out for ICC, but not that I like didn't enjoy it or love that con. People definitely need to check that one out too.
oh no, for sure, for sure. So the last thing I want to get into is you saw the finale for Skeleton Crew, right?
Yeah, yeah, did a reaction. Yeah.
Yes. So what'd you think of the finale?
It was wild. Like it was pretty intense. Like I felt like it was go go go.
Yes.
I Okay, episode 7 was supposed to be Jod's episode, right? Like we were supposed to get more information on his
Yeah.
character and like he did that 180 turn at least in my mind. But this last episode we got information on his
Yeah.
background, so that's all I needed, like that little snippet that he said about the Jedi finding him and then his master being hunted down. That's all I needed. I didn't need like a full flashback, just that commentary. Perfect.
It was, and it's crazy because like if you think about it, the way he worded it is she must have found him after Order 66 because it seemed like she was hiding. She found him. He was desperate for food. He said that she
mm,
was desperate. So they were
hmm
both kind of together and that they hunted her down and killed her in front of him, which probably means Inquisitors found her and killed her in front of him, which is nuts to think like what Inquisitor found him, you know?
So that's the thing I'm confused about because, like, I've saw different clips like on TikTok and Instagram of people like speculating, and like
Yeah.
the way that I understood it, like it was maybe like a couple, like handful of years before Order 66.
Oh.
So like she found him while the Order was still the Order, but it was already in its downfall. And then when I heard like hunting her down or like killed her in front of him, I just thought it was like clone troopers. But that was my interpretation.
Oh.
But it's still a very much a Kanan situation, like Depa
Yeah.
Billaba being killed in front of him
Yeah.
being on the run. I
Yep.
also got like Ventressy vibes from him because of the way that he was found, kind of felt like Ventress as well,
Yeah, yeah.
from the novels. But I love Jod's character. Like Jude Law, his performance in this show, I thought it was fantastic.
He killed it in episode 7. I hated him so much. He was so mean, especially when he yelled at Neil.
Yeah.
But like the one thing that everybody speculated, and I was like, I don't want this to happen, but they were like, okay, Jod's gonna help the kids, then he's gonna turn on the kids, then he's gonna come back and save the day and help the kids.
Right.
Everybody assumed that.
The redemption arc. Yeah.
That mofo did not. He stayed a pirate. He's like, "Shut up, you're spoiled. Sit down. I'll cut up your parents." Like I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo!" And then that last episode, like you said, the pacing was crazy. And when the ship came down and started blasting everybody, and then like Neil's mom dropped the twins because of the fire, like I
Yes.
was like,
I
"Oh
was
my
like,
god,
no. Yeah.
yeah, this is not okay. This is like messed up." It was crazy. I definitely enjoyed the finale. The one
hmm
thing I wish we would have got like
hmm
5 more minutes just to
hmm
see like a little bit of the aftermath of them cleaning up and like maybe
Yeah.
Jod in a cell locked up or something. But yeah, it was a fun finale, fun show overall. I definitely enjoyed it.
Yeah, like I'm with you on that, but it was probably intentional just in case they do a season 2 to
Yep.
leave kind of like those open-ended questions. I also feel like but okay, so like I feel like Jod is going to be put into a jail cell and like maybe we'll see him in other Star Wars shows and like they might pull him out of the cell because they need his help for something because he's force sensitive.
Yeah.
Um but I feel like all the ships left, like even the Hammerhead or whatever that model ship, it left at the
Yeah.
very end. So like I don't know if he'll actually be captured. Um, Another thing that I was kind of frustrated about, again probably intentional, is that we didn't get more information on the planets, like how old they actually are, the murals, all
Yeah.
that stuff. Yeah,
The supervisor, it was 8 episodes building up to him, and it was kind of interesting at first. I wanted to know more, and then
yeah.
2 seconds later, done. Like, come on, that was a little quick, a little
Yeah, I
quick.
mean, I was definitely speculating it was a droid because of like how dystopian their
Yep.
planet was,
Oh, yeah.
and Jod like definitely foreshadowed it with all his commentary about like I don't like droids or like get me like a human or whatever.
Yeah,
So it
yeah,
felt like
yeah.
Mando, and I was like, oh, it's for sure gonna be a droid. So
Yeah.
when it popped up that it was a droid, I felt like really proud of myself. I was like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But it was really short lived. But that comment about our last transmission was that the Jedi were like traitors or whatever.
Traders.
That was really cool. That was really
Yeah,
cool to hear.
yeah, yeah, that was a super dope tie-in. Nah,
Yeah.
it was fun, but now I think the next piece of anything we're gonna get is the Andor season 2 trailer, and then nothing until Celebration. We're gonna be dark for the next 3 months till we get all the reveals from Celebration.
I'm so excited for season 2 of Andor. Like,
Oh, me too.
oh,
It's gonna be crazy, and you heard who's rumored to pop up in it, right?
is it the voice actor for K2SO?
Well, no, he was in the
Oh, is
thing.
it supposed to be Cal? Is it Cal?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw rumors because I guess somebody saw him on set or
Right.
whatever,
Okay.
whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't really make sense to me, but I will take Cal Kestis in live action because then that's just one step closer to getting like Marin, and then imagine we get like a flashback with Trilla.
Trust me.
Oh,
Trust me as younger Trilla.
but yeah, that'll be crazy. I kind of wish that leak didn't pop up and it was like a Luke Skywalker surprise because
Mm,
I would like be shocked. I would scream if I'm watching Andor and all of a sudden
yeah.
you see BD1 walk out and Cal
Yeah.
right behind him. Like that'd
Yeah.
be so crazy. But I think in Japan they're gonna let us watch 2 episodes early. I'm like
Nice.
so confident because it drops the Tuesday after Celebration, but all those Andor actors, like 3 or 4 of them have already been announced for Japan. They're not gonna be like, "Yeah, guys, we're here and we're not gonna watch it." Like, they do that every celebration where we
Mhm.
watch stuff early, so that'll be cool.
Yeah, that's super exciting. I wish I could have gone to Japan, but I'm gonna have to live vicariously through your through your videos.
Yeah, I'm gonna be getting those vlogs out every day quick because there's so many people that wanna go and can't. So, like
Mhm.
and, like, a lot of people, like, a lot of the content creators, when they go out there, they're gonna film it, and then when they get home, edit it.
Right.
No, Imma be in the
Yeah.
hotel room editing, like, me and Ricky will be out to dinner, and I'm gonna have my iPad clip getting it ready just because I want everyone, like, to feel how we're feeling in the moment. It's gonna be so nuts over there. So nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really great time. Like, you've got Kymir, Sam, Cassian's gonna be there, right? Diego
Yep.
Luna?
Yep,
Yeah.
K2SO,
Ugh.
Galen Erso was announced.
Yes!
Of course he's gonna be in season 2, like, of course he's gonna be there. I'm just
Gonna be so
waiting
good.
for Bix to get announced so I could get my photo and auto from her.
Yeah.
Please, please. And I want Shin to come too. I want to meet Shin again. Shin is another one where she is so nice and sweet and like oh, and she remembers people because my buddy has met her a couple times and I was in
Mhm.
line and I saw her say to him that she remembered him. And I was like,
Nice.
why does she remember you? Ah, I need to get to that level. So
Yeah.
yeah, she's a really nice, genuine person as well, for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty much everything I have. What do you have coming up next on your channel that the people could look forward to?
Well, I just dropped my con vlog for New Orleans, so that has literally everything. It has where me and Nilda went for dinner. We got beignets, everything at the convention, like footage of the floor, the 501st booth. It has the clips of me and Ashley hugging and me
Nice.
talking with Manny. Yeah, it literally has everything that we did that weekend. It has a little bit of clips from our panel that we did. It has
Mhm.
my PowerPoint in that. I just like made it super fast to go through.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so that I just dropped that today, like a couple hours ago. So that's already out. I just finished editing my reaction to the finale of Skeleton Crew, so that will be out tomorrow. And
Nice.
then after that, gosh, I don't know. I need to work on. I have like templates, like designs that I'm working on for Skeleton Crew,
Ooh.
like merch and stuff for that. And then I also have a backlog of stuff that I wanted to make as well for my shop. So I'll probably be focusing on the shop because I put a pause on it for all the conventions that I went to recently.
Mhm.
Um, oh, and then what is the anniversary for Revenge of the Sith? What is it?
Yes.
What number year is it?
20th.
25th?
20th.
20th? Okay. So that will probably I want to work on a Shmi Skywalker cosplay. So like maybe I could have it
Ooh.
in time for, if it gets released to movie theaters. So that will probably start sometime. But yeah, those are the plans.
Nice. Awesome. So for you guys watching, go subscribe to our channel. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description. But Tiara, thank you for coming on. This was so much fun.
Yeah, thank you. Love chatting.
Yes, and that's gonna be it for this episode of Sith Talk, guys. We'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.